sleepovers might just be one of the craziest side quests you can go on as a kid. These were the nights that allowed you to go beast mode with your group of friends. I'm talking truth or dares, staying up until the sun comes up, or even pranking your friends while they're asleep. As someone who has experienced many sleepovers in their life, I have lots of crazy stories to share with you today. Now, growing up, I liked the idea of having a sleepover, but when it came time to actually fall asleep over at someone else's house, that was where things didn't sit well with me. Falling asleep over at someone's house was such an eerie feeling for me. Usually what would happen is everyone ends up falling asleep around me first, so I'm then just sitting there in silence. But then once the silence kicks in, my mind would wander to the unknown shadow monsters that could be lurking in the corners of this unfamiliar living room floor that I'm sleeping on, leaving me with one final option for rescue. This kid. Yup, I was one of those friends, where the next day you wake up at a sleepover, and I was nowhere to be found because I had silently left in the middle of the night. But this didn't stop me from having my own sleepovers at my own house, as I was obviously on good terms with my personal shadow monsters. However, this didn't mean my friends, subjected to the floor, were free from torment. You see, I'm a notorious sleepwalker and talker. Not only did they have to endure my nonsensical sleep talking and literal screaming, but they also had to witness me sprinting across the room at 3 a.m. completely unconscious. I kid you not, I once woke my friends up to this in the middle of the night. Dude, is he gonna kill us? This was definitely one of the lowest points of my sleepover career. But let me tell you about the absolute highlight. I was staying the night at my friend Ronan's house, where I had brought over my gaming laptop for an old school LAN party to grind Minecraft all night long. Oh, and FYI, LAN stands for Local Area Network, meaning we're playing video games together on the same Wi-Fi. But when I showed up, there was a surprise guest I didn't know about. His cousin, who, by the way, was a girl. Yes, a real-life girl at a sleepover. This was new territory for me. I had never hung out with a girl who also played Minecraft, let alone at a sleepover. I had to make sure my first impression was flawless. Hey Nate, this is my cousin, Camilla. Hi, Camilla. Excuse me, my name is Nate. Oh, cool. Nice to meet you, Nate. Nailed it. Who are you talking to? I have never had more fun playing Minecraft than that night. And part of that reason was because Camilla was playing right alongside me. After many bags of snacks, chugging soda, and defeating the Ender Dragon, it was now time for bed. My friend went ahead and set up an air mattress, as Camilla casually claimed her side, leaving me, the respectful gentleman that I am, to make my noble decision. Night, you guys. I'll go ahead and get comfy on the floor. You sure, Nate? There's plenty of room over here. You can join me on the mattress if you want. Okay. For the first time ever, my parents didn't get a 2 a.m. call to rescue me from a sleepover. I didn't sleepwalk. I didn't make any Jurassic Park noises. I slept like a normal human being. The next morning, I woke up feeling like a new man, like I had just conquered the world. I said my goodbyes, and when I got to my mom's car, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face.
So, how was your sleepover?
Mom, I slept with a girl!
What?
As legendary as that sleepover was, sometimes sleepovers with the boys get unintentionally crazy. This one night, my brother, our friend Luis, and I all camped out at my neighbor Eli's place. We had this tradition of staying up late playing Wii games and would get so sucked in and lose track of time. The night dragged on, our sweaty hands still clenching our Wii controllers as we tried to beat one another in Smash Bros. When suddenly, I glanced up at the window and saw a glow creeping through the blinds. Guys, is that the sun? We all realized that it was way past our bedtime as we frantically went ahead and made ourselves comfy in the living room. Just before any of us could fall asleep, Luis and I could not stop laughing at how funny it was that we accidentally pulled an all-nighter. Luis and I soon began hitting an unstoppable laughing streak. We were so tired that everything just became funny. I don't even remember what we were laughing about. Baba boy. Nate, if you don't shut up, I'm smacking you with this pillow. Pillow. Luis, you're next if you don't shut up. Surprisingly, that wasn't the time a sleepover spiraled out of control. It was my friend's birthday, and me and the boys had the entire basement to ourselves for the night. In typical men's fashion, the night began with a game of sting pong. If you don't know what sting pong is, it's basically ping pong, but if you win, you whip the ball at your friend as hard as you can. I stupidly volunteered to play first, feeling confident as everyone gathered around to watch. As the match heated up, my excitement turned to dread when I ultimately lost, resulting in the dreaded punishment.
The show goes on!
We then transitioned into Nerf Wars, creating an absolute war zone in the basement. And by the time that was over, my friends started disappearing into their sleeping bags. Now, in case you didn't know, falling asleep first is the #1 rule of what not to do at a sleepover. Still running off of adrenaline from the sting pong match and a life or death Nerf battle, I was wide awake. I looked around and saw that all of my friends were awake, except the birthday boy. The fool! I gathered them up in a group as we began plotting a mischievous plan to prank him in his sleep. And that's when we stumbled upon a black marker. His fate was sealed. We tiptoed over to his sleeping bag on the floor, trying not to make a peep of noise. Everyone gathered around as I began doodling. Man, should I become a tattoo artist? But I had gotten overly cocky, and as I started to push my limits, he suddenly woke up. What are you doing with that marker? Nothing. Ooh.
The show goes on!
Having experienced so many sleepovers with all kinds of different individuals, you start to notice recurring patterns. No matter where you are or who you're with, certain types of people always seem to show up. The foodie, constantly raiding the kitchen or pulling out snacks they brought from home. You were wanting to save the pizza in the fridge for breakfast in the morning? Nope. It's their midnight snack now. The early sleeper. Like, bro has to go to bed at 9 p.m. Even though this is his one night to actually stay up and rebel against his parents' demanding sleep schedule. But you already know what comes with falling asleep early. A perfect opportunity for the prankster. The sleepover DJ. A crucial part of the sleepover process. The man who controls the entire vibe of the night in the palm of his hand and a speaker. And then, of course, you have the sleep talker, scaredy cat, and the homesick one. Not sure who this would be. Being able to experience what it's like to sleep with no blankets or pillows because your friend forgot to give you sleeping supplies before they went to bed almost makes you feel primal for once in your life. But honestly, the part when asking your parents for permission to have a sleepover was even more exciting than the sleepover itself. You and your friend would sit there strategizing, trying to figure out the perfect way to convince your parents. And when they finally said yes, it felt like you'd won the lottery. Now, if you think sleepovers end when you're an adult, good news, they don't. They simply evolve. Although nowadays, they're just called roommates. I mean, when you're crammed into a hotel room while traveling with the homies, it's basically the same thing. You still stay up too late, argue over who's hogging the blankets, and somebody always snores loud enough to rattle the walls. Well, hello there, fellow viewer. I want to thank you, yes, I'm talking to you, for watching my video. It means a lot to me, and I hope you have a great holiday season and Happy New Year. I want to thank the animators so much for their work on this video, as seriously, they are the backbone of this channel. With that, you guys, I'll be seeing you in the next one. See ya!